Welcome to Cary Coatney's comic book note diary. I can't call it a show. It's the diary entry. I always stumble on that. It was an interesting week. It was a big week, so I had to go and I got this new rule. I think to myself, that I'm sort of making more money now. That anytime I order any more than 20 books, I gotta go pick it up. I can't leave it linger there. Otherwise, it's gonna be too big. And lugging home that stuff in a bag and going from bus to bus, I don't drive a car. It gets cumbersome sometimes. Interesting. Other than those interesting things that happened this week is picked up this. I think this cut released today from Criterion release is the Lenny, a 1974 movie directed by Bob Fosse and starring Dustin Hoffman as Lenny Bruce, and recently just passed away Valerie Perrine. She's in this movie too. She just I think died a month ago. And another great thing happened. I've been harping about the free comic book days editions. I didn't get them all. Now I'm only missing 2 out of the 48 books that came out. So I went and mail ordered 5 of them. They're mostly all the anime ones or anime affiliated ones, like the ones that Udon released. Mega Man and Street Fighter, and it came in this nice package, man. Check this out, man. It came in this nice postal package here. Got the logo there, and you open up the packet, and it comes in a box like this, and just to add more freshness to the package, the wrapper is this nice green bag with a logo on it, and as a sample one, they come bag and boarded, and really nifty bags and boards too, man. I gotta find out which ones they're using, but I was really pleased with this. It cost a lot. It cost like $16 for shipping for five books that cost me $10, but it was worth it, man. And I was telling the guy at the comic book shop, I was telling him, hey, I think these guys are great, and you guys haven't been getting me everything I ordered, so I gotta go and look. I found a couple books that you guys were supposed to have ordered for me, and it never arrived. And I find out the guy just never ships the stuff down. He has a store in Bakersfield, but you'll come in and say, hey, you know what? This would probably sell better in my store, and not bother to send it to the people who ordered the stuff. So, if I didn't like the guy, I wouldn't be shopping there. But since he's so close to my work, he's my go-to on weeknights. So without further ado, let's go over the books I got. Green Lantern, number 35. And I don't know how long I'm going to keep up with this. I've been thinking, do I really need to read about Kyle Rander, the Green Lantern? He has his ups and downs, that character, but sometimes it's mainly a bore to me. But Jeremy Adams is still writing it, so we'll see how it goes. What's going on with Superman here? Who's Witchfire? Reign of the Superboys. There you go. That's it. Let me see. The second issue of Swamp Thing 1989. looking forward to, well, all 4 issues are in my possession, and then read them all. That goes to my DC. Oh, that is my DC. Yeah, this was what I was harping on with the guy at the store. I said, you know, I never got issue 29, and fortunately, the Grahamcrackercomics website doesn't have issue 29, and neither do they have issue 13 of Savage Sword of Conan. And it's really odd because both are shipped in the same month, and I wonder if it's just that they didn't come to the U.S. Is it possible because, you know, Titan Comics are based out of the UK, and it could be that they never shipped out here. It could have been a customs problem for all I know, right? I don't know. Well, big announcement! I'm going to go to the San Fernando ValleyCon this weekend. I think I got some spare cash on hand to buy to stock up on my tonight's exciting reading adventures. If you follow my Facebook, every Monday through Thursday night I post an old comic book that I read. I mean, this week I'm doing some old Uncanny X-Men that Willis Particero, John Byrne, and Mark Silvestri did from early 90s. So, okay, here's the second issue of this. I'm looking forward to reading this. This is another Titan book. They are doing Elric. And I think I explained before, when last month's came out, before I moved, I made the exodus to San Diego from New Jersey. I happened to had read all the Elric paperbacks. I think there were 6 at the time. I really loved the character, and I'm glad to see some companies are picking. Some companies allow it to still get published, and Titan's one of them. I think Dark Horse did a few. Pacific Comics, that was the early one when Craig Russell and Michael T. Gilbert did those issues, but and so comes to close another fabulous Universal Monsters series from Skybound and Image. And who's next up at bat? Is it the Wolfman again? It could be the Wolfman. That's getting the 4-issue miniseries treatment. But I think the rule is, if you have your first 4-issue miniseries in cake and eat it too, but if you come in return, you gotta come back in a big format size. And there's another one I got in there. I'll show you. And here's the third Rocketeer: The Island. This is supposed to be the last Rocketeer story that Dave Stevens plotted before he passed away untimely. Okay, so I'm taking a risk on one of these issues. This is the first Monsters comic I ever bought. They didn't have the Wolfman cover, but this is just as good. So I'm gonna check one of these out. I mean, I read the Free Comic Book Day edition, a year or two or back, and I was really blown away by it. But I never actually went out and bought an issue. This one was $5.99, and I'm sure it's worth every penny of it. Bloodshot Special. This was another expensive book, and this is I think it's just a collection of assorted Bloodshot tales cobbled together into one package. There's there. All right, the big book of the week probably is this one, Doom Quest. First issue. This is a 10-issue series. It's written by the same team who did the previous series, One World Under Doom. Some didn't like it, some liked it, and I was one of the guys who liked it. So he gets an encore presentation, in my opinion. Okay, so the comic shop, the guy working in the comic book shop talked to me, just says, man, he just like, he looked at me, he's like, how can you buy this, man? How can anybody buy this thing? This is what he's doing. Keanu Reeves, he's charging $10 a pop for these things, and for some reason I keep buying them. And if I didn't, I'll tell you something. If I didn't get that big paycheck last week, I probably would have blown this off. But let's see where we find this character and what setting is it. I think he looks like he's in caveman mode here. So okay, so here's the other book. If you come back to the creature, if you come back to the Universal Monsters format series, this was done with Dracula also. So I seen that this is a black and white special. There was a 2-issue black and white special of Dracula. So that's your next pinnacle. And if you come back for a third time, you probably get a big freaking trade paperback that costs like $12 or something, or no, with a 96-page story. But that's my prediction. So that's that, and this was the first one I read. So heck, come to think of it, I think this will be the running order. I guess. I guess the next one will be the Invisible Man or something, who gets a 2-issue series. I believe that's the next one or Frankenstein. But that. So I assume that's one of two. I picked this up for a friend of mine. I got it last week too, but he was pestering me about, do you know where to get a copy of this? And I just texted him and said, I got one for you. So, all right. For some reason, this was on the shelf, and it should not have been on the shelf. It should have been in my pull box. Luckily, I remember seeing it on the shelf, because I just don't have all the connections all wired together when I'm shopping my comic books and stuff like that. And if I see it on the shelf, chances are it's probably in my pull box at home. And a little last week when I was shifting through the books, and I said, wait a minute, where's that Dick Tracy book I saw on the shelf? It's on the shelf at the store, and not in my pull box, where it belongs. So, number 17 of Dick Tracy. The Infernal Hulk. Number 7. You start small and you end up big, I guess. Because again, I'm pissed off that for 2 or 3 issues it was $3.99, and as soon as number 5, also this big story broke about the Infernal Rage thing, all the issues had an extra $1 added to it. So there's that. What I'm reading tonight, this came up in my queue, all 4 issues of this. So I don't know why they didn't make a 5th. I don't know why this is not a 5-issue series instead of a 4, because so that means they won't have a chance to parody the Battle for the Planet of the Apes movie poster, because there are variants with parodies of the movie posters, going from Planet of the Apes to Conquest, but there'll be no Battle for the Planet of the Apes in this series. So it's got Dr. Doom. That's something. It's also got the Red Ghost in it. Of course, I should have figured that out. Should have known he had something to do with it. The Sentry. I think the Sentry has, one more issue to go, and I'm done with this. Well, this is a letdown. I see how. Okay, Ultimates Spider-Man and Ultimate Black Panther, they had, you know, a little, I think they were $5.99, but the final issue of the Ultimates, number 24, is only $4.99. So it's a regular run-of-the-mill ending, I guess. People got tired of this real fast. These Ultimate Universe stuff doesn't have the longevity that the Absolute Universe does. And my boss at work today, he was going off on a tangent about Absolute Batman. He's not a big fan, and I was going to say that also including that package with the 5 books order, they threw a free one of these in. So I got 2 of these now. I was going to give this to my boss. Now he's telling me how much he hates the Absolute Batman and the Absolute, all the Absolute characters too. It's like, well, okay, you're not a fan, all right. But I know somebody at work I can give this to. Probably appreciate it. But yeah, I was like astounded. I thought he likes everything, all things Batman, but he goes, that's not my Batman. With a big, huge, giant bat on his chest and clubbing people with an axe, and that's not my Batman. And I go, well, yeah. And I was arguing with him that I told him to sample that my niece's boyfriend over the summer, not going out with him anymore. He was telling me, he was asking me a bunch of questions because my niece told him I'm a big comic book fan, and so I probably know a lot about. And yeah, sure enough, I could tell him some things and everything, and you know, so we were discussing the plots and stuff like that, and he was really on the ball with stuff. This is so I'm really into this stuff. I just latched onto it, and after friends recommend who are video gamers, are reading Absolute Universe comics. And I was glad to, you know, I wanted to show him some of my old comics, but then all of a sudden he broke up with my niece. So, oh well. Anyway, this was Absolute Wonder Woman number 20. Wonder what's going on with this. Is this the end of the Santana arc? Oh, X-Men's got a nice cover to it for its 30 issue. I really like this one. I like this team of X-Men. I like it, certainly. I like this team way better than the one in Uncanny. But I like that they made Juggernaut an X-Men. I thought that was pretty nifty. And some of the characters are beginning to grow on me. I forget who this character is, but he's pretty cool. Okay, well, actually, I should backtrack. The biggest book this week is not. What did I say the big book of the week was supposed to be? I forget. Well, anyway. No, I thought Duke was to be, but I forgot this finally came out. What did it take? A year and 8 months to churn out 8 issues of this, and have a whole new Batman series start while you're trying to get these issues done, and they want to do a third one. What would that be? Issue 164 of the previous Batman series, or will they do it in the current Batman series, or it'll be a whole entity on its own? Who knows? But I'm glad it's over, and there's a third. And don't wake me up if there's a third series coming on, because I'm not wasting my time on it. Okay. Detective Comics 1109, and this is I thought Black Canary and Green Arrow were in this. Hey, Justice League. Number 19. And I'm still sticking with this series. This is, like I said, you get more bang for your buck with this. Because this issue, it's technically a 40-page issue. They stuffed it with 3 or 4-page previews of upcoming titles, and kind of dig that. And then comes the last book, Capes, number 7. I believe this is an all-new storyline. An all-new... Kirkman's come back to this title. I think he hasn't written it or been involved with it since the early aughts. And I think this even came out before Invincible, but these characters ended up Invincible. So I'm not sure of the history. I gotta read it. I've seen it on TV and Invincible. So yeah, the guy working at the store, he remarked it. This is sad. This is probably a sad week for you, right? I go, why? Because only these 2 titles were $3.99. Everything else was $4.99, $5.99. So yeah, I didn't think about that. So, all right. Well, I'm supposed to have gotten a Flash Gordon trade paperback that Mad Cave has put out, but its story is reprinted from the 90s. I don't know what it is, but I ordered it. And there was another thing that came up. Well, yeah, the guy at the counter goes, yeah, he ordered it up in Bakersfield, but he thinks he wants to keep it up there. And I got on the phone with him and said, dude, Cary Coatney ordered that book, right? And he really wants that book, shipped down. I go, whatever. I can't control what other comic stores want to do. But I said, I told him, well, tell Jay this up in Bakersfield. I go, us guys, we should be doing the ordering. If I'm ordering books for myself, and he thinks that they would sell better in his store in Bakersfield, then you should be freaking paying me to consult you on ordering stuff for your store up there. Like I used to do for Rookies and All-Stars. Oh, you like this shirt, man? You see, I got some flack from people for wearing this shirt. And sorry. It's based on a slave labor comic book that was done in the 90s that I was a big fan of, and I had gotten a shirt of it. But people have taken such umbrage when they see me wear this shirt. I mean, I got 2 comments at work, and I didn't think people would notice it. You had this jacket covering it, and still the lettering still came out. But I tell people I don't wear this shirt often because there was one time I was on a bus. And I walked in. It was a summer day. I walked on the bus. I may have been down in San Diego. I think I wore this. Yeah, I wore this shirt down in San Diego. When I got on the bus, San Diego area bus, probably the trolley or something. And this lady, this African American lady, looked at me, horrified. And she comes up to me and she goes, "You think that's funny what you're wearing on your shirt there?" And I go, and sometimes I admit, sometimes I'll put on a t-shirt, I don't know what it is, I just walk out the door if I'm in a hurry to get somewhere and stuff, and I didn't realize I was wearing this shirt, and I'm looking down, oh yeah, and she goes, "My son was just killed by a drive-by just 2 weeks ago, and someone has the audacity to wear this kind of shirt, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss, but I did not wear. I didn't wear this like to be some rebel a cause thing. It just happened to be based on this comic book series that I read, and it was so long ago. It's like late 90s. But I rarely wear this shirt. I maybe pull it out once in the blue moon when I think I'm not going to be in a heavy heavy traffic area, but since my work skeleton crew of 5 people or 6 people or so in the whole building, I didn't think anybody would notice, but 2 people commented on it, and like, oh, okay, well, time to put this back into mothballs, And anyway, that's all I got for you this week. I don't know. Who knows when I'll be doing another one. Depends. If I have a big order, if I order big next week, I'll do another one next week. But tomorrow I'm going to do a video based on one of my favorite musicians today, Bruce Soord, spelled Soord. He's the lead guy from the Pineapple Thief band, and he's releasing his 4th solo album, and it's coming in this. I got a call about the thing. I may have to pay. I thought I was going to pay like $60 for it, something. It turns out it's going to be around $85 because it's some kind of shipping charge, because it's an extra large box or something like that. That was separated from the other order, and I got to pay like a little, what do you call it? Freaking Trump's freaking tariff on it or something. Yeah, I got to pay a tariff on it. So, because it's coming in from the UK. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I'm wrapping that puppy. Okay, till next week, stay dry, everybody. Because it's a little cold out right now. It's like the end of May out here in LA. It's a little cold out. I had to wear a windbreaker and stuff, man. I want to go swimming really bad. All right, night.